Morning, Abotai. Now that we changed the clock back from daylight savings time back to Eastern Standard Time, it doesn't have to be Eastern. Anywhere you live in the United States, we changed the clock back. So now we're back to Standard Time. There are halachot that are associated with changing the clock. First and foremost, with regards to Kriyat Shema. Kriyat Shema, in the morning, in the evening you have much more time. At night, you have from Tzet HaKochavim to Alot HaShachar, you can read Kriyat Shema at night, all night long, preferably by Chatzot, but you're still Yotzei Dechovah Mideoraita all night long. However, the daytime Kriyat Shema is very much time-bound. There's a time limit. You can read Kriyat Shema in the morning from Mishiyakir, which is a few minutes after Alot HaShachar, until the end of the third hour of the day, which is what we usually refer to as Sof Zeman Kriyat Shema, the end time for Kriyat Shema. There's a machloket exactly how to calculate the hours of the day. Do we begin from Alot HaShachar, dawn, and end at Tzet HaKochavim? Do we begin from Nitz and end at Shkiah? That's what's commonly known as the Zman of Magen Avraham versus the Zman of the Gaon, versus the Zman of the Gra. Now, whereas before we changed the clock, Sof Zman Kriyat Shema was fairly late into the morning. But now that we changed the clock, everything turns an hour back. Therefore, let's say for today, Sof Zman Kriyat Shema according to Magen Avraham, which lechatechila a person should be concerned with, because it seems that that is the opinion of Marana Bet Yosef and the Trumat Hadeshin and many other great Geonim, is by 8:30, approximately 8:30. The end time for Kriyat Shema according to the Gra, Rav Saadia Gaon, the Rambam, and others is approximately 9 o'clock. So if you're not an early riser, forget about the first Zman. You have to make sure to get at least by the Zman of the Gra. If that time passes, even if you can still pray Shacharit until Chatzot, however, you do not get the mitzvah any longer of Kriyat Shema. You lost the mitzvah. It's like you didn't put on tefillin that day. It's like you didn't do any other mitzvah that you're supposed to do that day. The mitzvah is lost. So you have to make sure that now that we changed the clock, we have to make sure that everything is taken into consideration, and Kriyat Shema is at the forefront of our mind. Another thing we have to deal with is Shabbat. Now that we've turned the clock back, we haven't encountered yet a Shabbat, but this coming Friday, Shabbat also begins an hour earlier, almost 4:25, 4:30. So you have to be very, very careful. A person has to be mechalkin tze'adav b'mishpat. A person has to think and calculate, when am I going to work? When am I coming home? I have to give myself a little bit of extra time to come back home, to prepare everything on time, to make sure all the foods are prepared on time, to make sure that I put things on the plata, the Chalon will speak about again on Friday, to make sure I don't have shehiyah and all sorts of other bishul issues. These are things that must be taken into consideration now that we've changed the clock. So it's not just, we changed the clock and that's it. There are, just like everything else in life, there are halachot, and the person has to be careful. Zahir. Zahirut mivi'ah lidei zerizut. Like the Gemara says in Masechet Avodah Zarah Daf Kaf Amud Bet, be careful of these halachot. That's how we show HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we love Him. Have a wonderful day.